Welcome to another edition of the Welcome to another edition of the 5-Star Zone. Rico Beard, Evan Jenkins. We're getting time. Bubble watch. Big Ten basketball is getting really, really interesting. And what you're finding out, a lot of things. Purdue may not be the team that we think that they were. I think young guards hit the wall, freshman wall. Fletcher Lawyer and those guys, they're not the same people that you saw back in January when they were on fire. Purdue squeaks one out in Wisconsin. I'm not a big Matt Painter fan. He's a big choke artist, but I gave credit where credit's due. Matt Painter. Know what happened when Purdue was up 3?
He fouled?
He fouled. Know what happened when Purdue was up 3 again? He fouled. He kept fouling. He kept doing that to the end of the game. They ended up winning 63-61, but it was no way in the world he was going to let Wisconsin get a 3-point shot off. I don't know why this is so hard. I don't know why we're still talking about this, but we are.
Well, let's talk about it then, because Illinois up 3.
Right. Underwood last night, their coach, did twice. You would think that he would learn. Regulation. They're up, and Brad Underwood, the Illinois coach, you would think would say, guys, here's the deal. We're up 3. Michigan throws the ball into Hunter Dickinson. Hunter gets it and gets immediately triple teamed. I'm sitting there saying,
why?
You want him to shoot the 2. I would have put my shortest player on him just to invite him. I probably would have got those orange little airport things that the guys have and just steer him to the basket. Right there. Matter of fact, here's a bullseye. Dunk it right over me, Hunter. Go ahead, get the 2. I'm not going to foul you. They double team him. They kick it out. Jet hits the 3. We go to overtime. And then in the second overtime, oh, by the way, who called that overtime yesterday?
Oh, you did. As we were sitting like 5:45, you're like, go bet the overtime, Michigan and Illinois. And Kenny Cott, who works on your 2 to 6 show, is like, why would I do that? And then you're like, I just have a feeling it's one of those things. What was the odds? Like plus
1265.
Yeah, when I saw it instantly, I was out to dinner and I texted you. I'm like, I hope you bet that.
Yes, sir. I mean, it
felt like that.
Everybody
played close games
because Michigan's in desperation mode. Michigan needed that game badly because now
it was a great game, by the way.
It was. They were down by as many.
They were
as,
down
I think,
7
9
at the end of the first half, or the end of the game. Came back.
They were down by about 11.
9 was
and then
the
they came
lead.
back, and then they were down 7, and they charged back, went on a 7-0 run, tied the game up, goes overtime 70-70.
They're up 7 in overtime.
And then Illinois started. Then they went up again, and then Illinois came back because I thought it was over.
Like a minute 40 left. Michigan was up 7.
I'm on the phone with my buddy, like, I think Michigan's got this one. This is gonna help their tournament. Wait a minute.
And you know what it was? I called it as I'm sitting there with my wife. Nobody will believe me. Maybe she'll vouch for me one day. You know what happened? Michigan went up 7 in that overtime. Did you see what happened? Mr. Dickinson decided to start taunting everybody.
Yeah.
He's waving at the crowd. I go to my wife. I go, that right there, in Illinois is going to come back.
Illinois came back.
Just wait till the end of the game, dude.
Yeah. Illinois came back. Terrence Shannon missed the free throw. He got an and 1. That made it Illinois was down 81-79. He got an and 1. He made the basket. It was 81-81. He misses the free throw, which then would have won the game. Michigan misses their final shot, goes double overtime. You could the gas was leaving both teams. Now all of a sudden it's just a lot of clank. Michigan 6 points in the overtime. Illinois scored 10. They hit the big shots when they needed to. But then once again, and I don't want people thinking like, oh, you're just saying that because it's Michigan. No, it just bothers me when college basketball coaches who make millions of dollars can't do simple math. Illinois,
the loophole in the rules.
It's the equivalent of taking a knee and eating clock in football.
Yes.
It's intentionally walking a batter in baseball.
Yeah, when Barry Bonds comes up with the bases loaded and they decided to walk them, that was a smart choice.
Yeah. Or you know what? We got first base open. Let's just go ahead and put him on first, and we'll pitch to the next guy. It's analytics. And I know to some people, analytics is a dirty word. But Illinois, Underwood, same situation. And I'll give what's the guy from Duke that Michigan
Joey
had?
Baker.
Joey Baker comes off of 3
Dude,
screens.
the play was beautiful.
Right. I mean, he started off in the corner, runs past 2 guys, stops, re-pivots, goes past Hunter again. He's wide open.
Wide open.
And then it was like, oh, Joey.
Well,
that's not how Juwan drew it up.
So here's my question.
But why did you, once again, you go over the screen? Because if he cuts underneath, okay.
I just, the only thing that I question about that play call, and I know Jet with 2 T's was on the bench, go to Kobe Buffkin. That kid has been lights out for you.
See, I thought that they went away from Buffkin because he led the charge.
That's what I'm
saying.
All
of a sudden,
nothing.
In overtime, he disappeared.
And that's what.
And I don't know if he ran out of gas or what, but yeah, it's weird when he's clearly their best player.
Yes, I agree.
He's emerged as their best player right now. A lot of people were like, he's going to go in the draft. I was like, you kidding me? I'm like, you know what? I can see that now.
Yes, 100%.
He's going out there. He can get his own shot. They didn't go to him.
The rack. Yeah, it's weird because he was responsible for them going up or coming back from being down 7. He's hitting these threes. He's hitting pull-up J's. It was just odd, but
I mean, Matt Mayer tried to take the game over for Illinois, Mr. OD on Monster Energy drinks.
It was all jacked up. Huh?
He played, and then he started clanking 3-point. He was going for the kill shot and just like, bro.
Yeah, and that double overtime. He hit the first one to go up 3. And
right.
He
it's like
jacking.
You're because like during the game, Illinois was running the layup line, and then they went away from that. But Michigan loses, Illinois wins. The Big Ten tournament. I think the only team that exactly where they're going to be is Purdue.
Yeah.
Purdue's going to be 1, and I think Minnesota's 14.
So I was hearing last night if Rutgers would have won that game and Michigan lost like they did, there would have been an 8-way tie for second place in the Big Ten.
Right. Now it's what, a 7?
Yeah, but it's at 1, and then
2,
Michigan
3,
State's right
4,
there on the
5,
heels.
6. I count Michigan State because thanks to Rutgers, you want to know karma. Last night,
a little bit, yeah.
If you don't believe in religion, if you don't believe in karma, karma happened last night in Minneapolis. Rutgers did not want to move the game. Big Ten, everybody said, okay, if Rutgers moves their game against Minnesota to Tuesday, Michigan State can play Minnesota, make up the game where the people were shot and killed on campus on Thursday. And then both teams said, well, you know what, we'll just play. It's going to be a rough week for us, but both teams agreed. Rutgers would have had an extra day. Rutgers has been struggling. Rutgers said, we don't want to do that because our kids need to go to class.
Mm-hmm.
And poor Minnesota, they're going to have to play all these extra games. Well, yeah, Minnesota had to lead once yesterday. Came when the clock hit 3-0.
Money 3, too.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, don't give me this whole the kids, they don't want to play. And yes, they do. Minnesota, guess what? Their season ends when they lose in the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah.
They would like to play a couple more games if given the choice.
Absolutely.
And especially their young coach who's trying to get everything going with them.
Right. Minnesota's like, okay, yeah, we'll take this because you know what? Our young guys will get a taste of what the Breslin Center crowd is like. So next year, it won't be brand new to freshmen and sophomores.
Yep.
Because now think about it. Next year, you got 2 classes who have never experienced what the Breslin Center is like. And according to the polls in the Big Ten, it's the second worst place to go play a game at. Only Mackey.
Okay.
Mackey's the worst.
It is.
I mean, I give him credit. It's a snake pit. Nobody likes playing in Mackey Arena. So I give him credit for that. But yeah, they go out there, Minnesota, 75-74. I have never felt so vindicated and just laughed. It was like, Pico, that's what you get, you smug son of a bitch. That's all on you.
It was just, you know what?
How did that taste? Go get your Juicy Lucy now.
Well, you know what? They faded pretty hard here at the end of the season too. I mean,
Yeah.
they did,
And
and
that's why he didn't want to play. That's why he didn't want to play extra games.
You think at all the Big Ten's going to make some noise in the tournament?
No, I don't. I think that you see a lot of teams in there. They're going to be filler teams, but I don't think you got any. Like Purdue is going to be difficult because nobody's seen a Zach Edey.
No, and especially, the 1 versus 16, whoever that 16 is.
Well, no, I mean, just because the Big Ten is starting to adjust to Edey.
Yes, but 7-4 doesn't come out all the time.
It's an anomaly that, okay, you're in the ACC, you're in the SEC. Coach, I don't know what to do with him. I'll say this. It still comes down to I look at Indiana. And I look at MSU. They got veteran backcourts. Indiana's got, and Trace Jackson Davis,
he's a vet.
Race Thompson, like they have veterans on their team that can help them get, and especially in the tournament. If you don't have an NBA player or players, you got to have juniors and seniors in your backcourt. You see it every year where you get to St. Peter's and you get those teams and you look, why are they winning? Because they got seniors back there.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the two teams that I would look at, Evan, and say, watch out for. And it's not because, you went to state. No. That backcourt is starting to hum.
Well,
they're starting to hit the shots.
It's having a great coach and turnaround games. That's a big deal.
I would say Northwestern, but I don't know how new they've
also kind of faded a little bit.
Yeah, they've started to run out of gas. Iowa is that hot team, but you know what? Here's the thing. I'm not buying in Iowa because Iowa.
What happened last year?
Right there, Evan. Come on, give me. Iowa does it every year. They get hot.
Yes.
And then they get to the tournament.
They can't shoot at all. You
know why?
City. Because they're different gyms. They're NBA arenas, which they're not used to, which is so weird because we can go back to the old Jimmy Chitwood and everything. Well, the rims are 10 feet high. Right. Court's the same length. But for some reason, the different atmosphere for them, they just can't shoot. Because last year, I was convinced they did the same crap where they just shot the lights out at the end of the year, lit everybody up, and then get to the tournament and can't shoot. So I agree with you on that one.
And I mean, and then you got, I saw a stat that Hauser, Akins, and Walker in the last two games are like 24 for 35 shooting a three-pointer. Like these three are deadly for MSU. And I got to give Iowa credit. Last two regular season games, in regulation, they scored 191 points.
It's crazy what they can do so fast, too.
They scored 101 against Michigan State and 90 in their previous game.
Yeah, and then they'll go into the tournament and score 54 and lose.
Against Indiana. Now that basically probably pissed off Indiana, who's hosting Michigan on their senior day. Michigan has to have that game.
They have to.
And there's no ifs, ands, or buts. If you lose at Indiana, you're already. I mean, Lenardi and everybody had you in the first four out.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they updated. I'm going to check.
But that was after last night. Michigan, Penn State, Wisconsin, and just throw North Carolina in from the ACC. Those four teams are on life support. All of them are hoping and praying that they can get that last win. North Carolina has Duke. Michigan's got Indiana. Penn State host Maryland. I think Penn State has the best chance of getting that final win, and probably Wisconsin. Wisconsin's at Minnesota. But yeah, you're Michigan. Now you can, if you knock off Indiana at Indiana on their senior day, and then go out and win a Big Ten tourney game.
I think you got to win two.
I was about to say, if you win one, now you got to hope that some things happen your way. You win two. And I think you're probably looking at the 11th seed play-in type of game.
Now, Lenardi did update it this morning at 9 a.m. Michigan still sits on the first four outline.
Okay.
So Penn State actually moved up into the last four in. They're the last team in. Them and Wisconsin sit on that line right now. Now, for Michigan State, let me see if I can find them real quick.
Still 7?
Michigan State is 7 seed out west.
Who's the 2? Kansas State?
Kansas State is the 2 seed, correct.
I think they could beat Kansas State.
So do I.
If that's it, then, man, if you're Michigan State, you may get out the first weekend.
Then Arizona's there. That would be
and
they're not what they were. But we'll see. I mean, that's just one.
Got to get out the first weekend, Tom.
That's what I'm saying. That's what you got to worry about, right?
Yeah, we haven't seen that except for Cassius. So, yeah. Also, a little bit of news. MSU had their press conference yesterday. They're doing senior ceremonies. 4 people are going through there. Hauser's going through. Walker's going to go through. Hall is going to go through. And the guy off the bench, I forgot his name.
43?
Yeah.
Okay. Whitens.
Whitens is the only one who cannot come back.
The other 3 can.
The other 3 have a decision to make. Hauser, which apparently has an injury year that he could petition to get back. I mean, the way he's playing now, I'm not going to say, no, you can't come back. But, man, at this point, he's going to be like, what, 26, 27, it seems like?
I wonder how old he is.
Walker, yeah, because people are like, well, Jeremy Fears Jr. is coming in, and you're going to stun his growth.
No, let him learn.
And I had a conversation with a buddy of mine last night.
He's 23, Joey Hauser.
So he'll be 24. I would take a fifth-year Tyson Walker over any freshman.
Oh, yeah.
Tyson Walker, who is now bringing back fifth-year Tyson Walker, you know what that is? That's Cassius. That's a guy who can just lead this team on the court because you're starting to see it now.
Well, and what it means is that these young kids can play off the bench and all the pressure isn't on them.
Right.
So if you could have him and Holloman still coming off the bench and Fears and Holloman, tell me how much they could learn because Hogarth's still going to be here.
Now, Holloman, I guess Holloman and Brooks are two guys that I'm going to see where they're at if they transfer out.
I guess Holloman would stay depending, I guess, on what Walker would choose, right?
Right. Because if Walker comes back, I mean, Holloman's not done that much to make me say, oh, yeah, he's got to go in there. Because he's the only he refuses to shoot the ball.
That's the one thing about him. But I don't feel like he makes many mistakes when he's actually in the game. Now, he's only in there for a minute or two at a time.
Right, but when he's in there, if he's in there with Matty Sissoko, you are now playing 5-on-3.
That I agree with. Yes, and he's got a little tum-tum to him. But he has a nice shot, which
teams
is weird.
Are treating him like Russell Westbrook. They're not even guarding him anymore.
Oh.
They're like, okay, if you want, like, if you realize if you hit one 3-pointer, you're gonna make people respect you.
Which he has. It's just come a long time ago.
He won't shoot the rock. And
look at the last time he made a 3.
And Malik Hall. I mean, because I'm thinking if Malik comes back, because he's like, well, who's going to be your starters? And I said, well, it'd be Walker, it'd be Hogard, it'd be Hauser. I think Booker, Xavier Booker, the incoming freshman, would start.
Yeah, and they bring Kohler and them off the bench, right?
And the fifth guy, I don't know if you go with Malik. I don't know if you go with Matty. I don't know who you're going to go with.
No, I think that would depend on the team, right?
Yeah.
If you need to go big.
But I think those 4 are the ones. Oh, I'm sorry, Akins. They're your 5 starters.
By the way, talk about stepping it up.
Well,
that kid.
I tried to tell Mike that Akins has NBA potential.
Okay, so Holloman shot a 3 February 4th. Before that, he shot 2 of them against Buffalo on December 30th.
Exactly. Nobody remembers. So, yeah, your lineup, I guess, would be Akins, Hauser, Hogard, Walker, and Booker.
Yep.
I think and then you just bring Malik off the bench. Or maybe you start Malik, but Booker.
Well, it's kind of
like with Jaren Jackson.
That's what I was going to say. Him and or even the super class of Miles and
but Miles started from day one.
Miles did, but Cassius came off the bench. Nick Ward came off the bench, and who was the Langford came off. Yeah, so it's the same kind of deal where your main big is your dude.
So that's what I'm looking at is for their starting class next year. But
hey, next time we get to talk and do this, we're actually talking about seeding and stuff. At least for a Big Ten tournament.
We are talking about seeding, yeah. And we'll be talking about Michigan State's in. Like I said, right now the Big Ten's looking at 9 teams in.
Yeah, I think Lenardi had 10.
Oh, yeah, because he's got both Penn State
and Wisconsin.
Michigan, you got to win. As I told Rieger, if you're playing on Sunday, win or lose, you're in.
I agree with that. That I agree with. It's just brand name. They'll be in that first 4.
If you can knock off Purdue, you're in.
Yeah.
So if you're Michigan, you almost want to hope that you are a 8 or 9. So you get to play Purdue in the next game.
Right off the rip, and you know what
you play Purdue on Friday. You beat Purdue, and congratulations, guys, you're in. Now you may be in the play-in game, but you're still in. Play-in is still in.
Yes.
What you don't want is you don't want to play Michigan State. Not that you're afraid. Michigan State can't help you.
No, not at all.
You don't want to play teams that just,
neutral court, that don't do anything for your net rating.
Yeah, that does the team that you want to play is you probably want to play Purdue or you want to play Indiana again.
Yeah, because it was actually kind of crazy because when Michigan State lost to Iowa, which was a horrible loss, but not in the committee's eye. They went up in the net ratings. They went up in all those
on
ratings
the road
with
overtime.
that loss. Yeah.
So if you want to play, you probably want to play Indiana. Like Purdue helps you.
Yeah.
If you're Michigan, I hate to say it, but here's the good news. You lose to Indiana, you're probably a lock for the 8-9 game, which means you win that game, you're going to turn around, you're going to play Purdue. There it is. Go beat Purdue, Zach Edey, you're in the game. You're in the tournament. If not,
I love that matchup too, him and Hunter. Hunter played his ass off.
He did.
That's probably the best complete game I've seen out of him.
You got Kobe Buffkin, who is going up. You got the Purdue point guards who are trending down.
Yeah, Doug McDaniel took a step back, I thought, a little bit in this last game. He didn't make shots like he had been, but that's a freshman.
But he's also not in Chrysler.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So for Michigan, I knocking Purdue struggling.
Get them.
Knocking off Purdue, I don't think that big out of the question.
And you got to wonder how bad do they want it.
So,
they're going to look to avoid injury and stuff like that. They're not.
MSU, got to beat Ohio State. It's senior day, and then you wait to see. I think best case scenario is they can move to a 4, but a lot has to. Penn State has to beat Maryland.
Okay.
Penn State beats Maryland, then MSU moves up to a 4 if they beat Ohio State. But it looks like they're pretty much a lock for the 5th seed or the 6th seed. But that's the one thing I think that can move them up to a 4. They're the only game on Saturday. They're at noon, and then everybody else plays on Sunday. So they get the luxury of sitting back and kind of watching to see how this all pans out. So, we'll know what the Big Ten tournament status is by the time we come next week, and we'll know what Michigan's path is to get to the tournament. And for MSU, you keep winning, you move to the 6th line. It's easier to make it out that first weekend because now you're playing a 3 seed rather than a 2 seed. And a lot of 3 seeds don't always win their first games. So just putting that out there. So what you got for me? I got something for you, but
give it to me. My question will be addressed on your show today. So,
you haven't seen Ant-Man, have
no?
You? Yeah, seen it. It's good. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be, but very Star Wars-y, Star Wars-esque. Like it felt like the whole movie took place in the Star Wars cantina.
Are there any cameos?
From like
anybody else in the Marvel verse that maybe shouldn't be in the movie? Any of his Avenger friends? I'm going to say no. So how was Kang?
Kang was good. Kang actually made the movie because if you've seen Loki.
Yes.
You're wondering which Kang is this?
Yeah, because in Loki, he was a very nice guy.
That was the good Kang. But this Kang got banished. But you're like, okay, was he banished because he was too good? Or was he banished because he was really a jerk?
Right.
So you really didn't know until maybe 60% of the movie, like, oh, he's this guy. But then you're like, wait, no, he's actually this guy. So
okay.
He made it. Cassie, the daughter, got on my nerves, but I guess she's teenage girl.
Right.
Who no frontal lobe development. So
well, you know what? Jonathan Majors might be the biggest star in the world right now because Creed 3 just dropped.
But I'm trying to think. I don't think it was no, it was. There was one cameo.
Okay, cool.
There was one cameo.
If I don't see it this weekend, it'll definitely be next week.
Oh, shoot. Yeah. But yeah, most of that, it felt like the whole movie took place inside the Star Wars cantina with these weird characters. And,
okay.
Yeah. So
I get what you're saying.
So yeah. So all right. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Next time we talk, we'll know who's going to be in the Big Ten tournament. For Evan, I'm Rico. Thanks for listening, watching, and subscribing. Keep doing it. And you've been watching the 5 Star Zone.